Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everybody. Bitcoin is pushing, and we couldn't have asked for a better gift. 2 days ago, I called for an awesome buy on Bitcoin when I saw the 4 and 9 moving averages crossover. You could be buying on this crossover and this bullish engulfing candle right here. This is an awesome entry, in my opinion. You will need to be using a stop loss. So that was at $48,000, and we're a few $1,000s over. So that was an awesome entry. We're seeing a huge bullish ascending triangle on Bitcoin on a larger time frame, which I love to see. So we're making higher lows while holding this resistance here at about $65,000. Best case scenario is buying as close as we can to this trend line, which we got on the 4 and 9 moving day crossing bullish crossover 2 days ago. So we are well positioned, and the best thing that can happen is if Bitcoin breaks up out of this ascending triangle, comes back to retest this resistance, now turned into support, and then blasts off. What kind of price expectation can we see if it breaks this to the upside? Well, we'll take the length of the base and then we'll measure the price expectation and target, which I believe is just above $100,000, which everybody is eyeing. So if this ascending triangle breaks out, we can see above $100,000. Another scenario for this big ascending triangle to play out is if we just kind of trade sideways in this pattern, and we could do this all the way until May into the apex of the triangle, which would kind of lead us to the summer. So while Bitcoin trades sideways, that gives the whole market, some room to grow. While Bitcoin dominance is probably going to go lower, if that was scenario 2, we would see altcoins very prosperous. We'd see altcoins running and making all-time highs, while Bitcoin just kind of accumulates and consolidates in this pattern. So let's go down into smaller time frames to see some magic from the last few days while Bitcoin has moved upwards. Let's get right into it. So on the daily, as I pointed out in the last video 2 days ago, we were seeing a divergence on the RSI. We saw higher lows happening right here, and it's still going. It's still pushing. So we're seeing higher lows while we were seeing lower lows right here on the daily. And this is awesome, where I was mentioning on that ascending triangle where you see a change of polarity, where you see a turned resistance turned support, or support turned resistance. I'll show you an awesome example of it right here. So you can see if we line this up perfectly like that, this was resistance, resistance, and then we broke this resistance right here, and we retested it as a buy. Not only did we retested it, we got this bounce off the 50 moving day average as well, on the 4 hour actually, and that gave us more confluence. So not only did we break this downtrend, so let me show you guys some price action, and if we're making lower lows right here, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, or testing the low, and then lower high right here. When we broke out to the upside, we broke this downtrend because now we're placing a higher high. You can see right here that this high is higher, and we're not placing lower lows anymore. We're actually placing a higher low. So you can see we're making highs now instead of making lows now. So now that we've made this higher low, we're bouncing off the trend line, which is a turned resistance into support, and we're bouncing off the 50-day moving average. So if you didn't get the entry down here, this was an awesome entry with a little bit of risk because you use the bottom of this candle for the stop loss, or a few percentage points under the trend line or the moving average. Like, this is a high leverage, as an experienced trader, I could do a nice trade from here and expect the higher band, the moving average, the 200 EMA. So now we're seeing a bullish flag. Price won't just move upwards in green candles. I mean, we've seen it in crypto, but it won't just move upwards. You need to have some sort of consolidation. You need to have some sort of breather. traders take profit, whatever it may be, they reposition. So we're seeing a bullish flag right here. We're seeing a lot of resistance on the 4-hour, and I'm looking for this to keep breaking up. It is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas, so how much volume and liquidity can we get through here? I didn't think we would be pumping this quickly, to be honest. And I'm hoping this sets us up for an awesome 2022. Let's look at the daily for some resistance right here. This is some clear resistance at the 52 mark at the daily moving average. I'm also seeing resistance right here. So I like to use the line chart to mark up some great support and resistance areas. I like this because this is used as resistance here and used as support here. I mean, I could mark up a lot more, but I'm going to stick with this one as that's relevant with the moving averages. We're looking for confluence, like more confirmations of an uptrend or more confirmations of a downtrend. So I can see that the resistance right here and the support, so this is a pretty important line for me, is matching up with this moving average right here. And not only that, I'm pretty sure we can get another downwards trend line right here, because on the larger time frame, as I showed you guys on the 4-hour, we just broke that downtrend. But on the larger time frame, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. So that needs to change. That needs to change ASAP. So you can see here. Let me perfect. Okay, that's fine. So depending on how far we grind out, and if we just kind of consolidate here, all of these three resistances can match up. Like if price gets to here and the moving average is here and this resistance is here, then we'd have some pretty strong resistance at around $53,000. I'm pretty much looking for, as I said, we're looking for change of trends. I'm looking for this to break out. Let me draw another trend line right here. Some people might say that's a breakout right there, but I'm looking for a higher high to be placed. So I'm looking for pretty much this to be broken as a top right here. And I like it, right? We're going to see some massive resistance at the 58K, in my opinion, as well, as we would be setting a new higher high. We'd be, eliminating this high right here. We'd be placing a new higher high and just crushing resistance, and then looking for some sort of huge pullback to continue and bounce off of this into all-time highs and things like that. So that's just a quick analysis on Bitcoin before heading into the holidays and things like that. A lot of people are enjoying the times with their families, as I would recommend. You don't want to be watching the graphs every hour, every minute of the day. If you guys have any questions, post them below. I'll be reviewing Bitcoin a lot more often, so hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.